Greetings programs, NeoMegaMan here, and we're back with another video for Let's Play Katawa Shoujo. This time, we're starting a brand new path. Who we're going after, well, if you cheated and looked at the video title, pretty obvious. But, yeah, we're just going to go ahead and dive right in, and I'm going to show you how you could save some time playing this game through multiple times if you're, doing that, and don't want to sit through, gosh, what was it, like the first hour and a half it took me to get through the first part. So yeah, what we're going to do is we're going to start us up a new game. And immediately, we're going to hit right trigger to bring up the menu here. And we're going to go into skip mode. So, skip mode. Skip mode goes pretty fast, and it will take everything page by page as it would if we were clicking really fast. But it'll stop every time we come to a decision gate like this. Okay, so this decision gate, not too essential. Okay, we're going to do that one. Why? Do I have to? Of course not. That's why I asked. Right. Let's go then. Yeah, we've seen this part before. Get a grip. Yes, Hisa, we know you're all unsure of yourself and whatnot. Our first look at our classmates. Miki, and there's Hanako, and there's some other folks I don't recognize. And then there's Shizune. And right next to Shizune, if it'll scroll just a tiny bit faster, please, is Misha. Hi, Misha. Okay. And yada yada yada. Please welcome our newest classmate. Nobody seems to be too interested in Hisao's introduction. Poor Hisao. Maybe I should have said yes to the self-introduction thing. Now, he says that, basically saying that to the player, little nudge wink kind of thing, that your actions will have consequences, and your consequences will affect your progress in the game. This, not so much. But later on, probably realizing he doesn't know anything about me, he just ends up saying my name wrong again and asks me to write it on the blackboard. I do that and turn back to face the class, feeling awkward. I listen to the teacher's he drones about getting along while letting my gaze sweep across the classroom. Everyone seems to be listening to him intently, and when he's done, they clap their hands again, which feels like a weird thing to do. The first row girl, Miki, claps this round, with one hand against her other wrist that ends in a bandaged stump. It makes me feel a little bad. Okay, now we've already seen this part, so again, let's go. Absolutely nothing changes here right now. Okay, now, I hate that stupid bell. Anyway, if you're wanting to know what all goes on here, I really suggest to anybody who's joining this playthrough that you go watch my playthrough of Shizune's path first. That's who these two are in front of us, Shizune and Misha. They get introduced in the intro segment. But we're not going on Shizune's path, so we're not going to go down the road we've already taken. We're going to ask about Shizune's deafness like a total clod. Shizune intrigues me, and I kind of want to ask something about her. But I can't really ask about something that personal, can I? I can't come up with anything else to ask, so I just focus on my food while the girls talk between themselves. Misha and Shizune sign back and forth very animatedly, throwing sideways glances at me, but Misha refrains from translating. Maybe they're talking about secret girl stuff or something. Motherfucking dot. I quickly notice a conversation in sign is not enough to fill a silence. And I'm pretty sure we've seen this part too. Yep. Skip mode. Hi, nurse. Sadly, we're not going to be seeing much of Nurse on this path. Oh god, Kenji. Go away, Kenji. Doo-doo-doo-doo. Again, absolutely nothing changes from this part from the first section. Or my first playthrough, I mean. Girls are talking about this and that. Talking about wanting to play Risk with Hisao. And now we're going to play Risk. And if you attack aggressively, you score points with Shizune. We want to avoid that, so we're going to chicken out and play defensively. It's likely that she's just trying to psych me out. Looking at the board again, I have a pretty good defense set up, and I'm not going to wreck it doing something reckless. A few turns later, I lose anyway. Shizune adjusts her glasses victoriously and allows herself to tentatively pump a fist in the air in celebration. Wahahaha! He-chan, you lost when you allowed me to take North America. I mean, She-chan, not me. Getting control of North America is ambitious because it provides a 5-army bonus, but you can attack it from 3 fronts, so you must defend them all. I thought you'd have more guts. How disappointing. Ambition, He-chan. Your play needs to be more daring. Ambition, ambition! She says as though it means something more than it does. I was really excited when you took South America, but then you switched to playing defensively just because you gained a small advantage. That's no good, He-chan. You didn't take enough risks, and when you did, you didn't follow through. That's terrible, He-chan. Damn. What's it to her if I played too carefully? There's no need to rub it in my face. I wonder if you'd even be any good for the student council. What's this, reverse psychology? I guess I don't have to worry about joining or not in that case. Giving up just like that? I expected more of you. Seriously, is Shizune trying to taunt me into joining the council? That ain't gonna work. Besides, I don't even want to join. It's only my second day. I can't make that kind of commitment. I haven't even taken a look at any other clubs yet. And these two, they're a little weird. No idea, Hiso. Fine, I'll consider joining the council, but I want to take a look at the clubs first before I decide. Really, He-chan? You're not just saying that to make us feel better? Yeah. I'm just unsure that I want to. Aw. Okay, He-chan, but we're not going to give up so easily. You said maybe. There's still a chance you'll come around. Come on, we could really have fun. We can play more Risk, and maybe one day you could beat me, unless we graduate before that. That doesn't make me feel any less reluctant about joining, you know. Surely you're not that horrible at board games. Maybe we could play a game you know then, to give you a handicap. I might have said that just to make you feel better after all. Aw, that's cold, He-chan. He-chan's a stone cold OG, son. I take a glance at the clock on the wall and realize I've spent far longer playing Risk than I expected. Sorry, I think I have to go. I wanted to go to the library. It's not closed yet, is it? Shizune scratches her head and gestures at Misha. How hard can it be to determine whether the library is open? There's a clock right there. It should be unless the librarian is absent. I think you're right, Shi-chan. We think the library's open. It's on the 2nd floor. You can't miss it. You want us to show you where it is? No thanks, it's okay. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye. Alright, now again, nothing's changed. Hi, Lily. Sadly, we won't be seeing too much of her either. Yuko's first impressions. Hi, Hanako. And once again, since we don't want to score points with Hanako, we're going to take the road that we took last time, which means nothing's different from last time. Skip! Go away, Kenji. Nobody likes you. Okay. Again, we have to take the same road we took last time. She wasn't that cute. I do what I always do when I don't know what to do. This is different. Now, if you're reaching this scene and you don't have points with any girl yet so far, with either Hanako or Shizune or Lily or whatever, it becomes a non-decision gate and just stops you. I do what I always do when I don't know what to do, like now. I've already started on one of the books I borrowed yesterday and took it with me to school to fill the empty moments between classes. I find the page that I creased a corner of to mark the spot I left yesterday night and pick up from there. Misha and Shizune are still arguing heatedly, probably about restaurants still. If I join them, I'd just get caught up in that, or worse, get grilled about joining the council. Misha isn't speaking aloud since there's nobody who'd need to hear what they're talking about. But why does she tend to sign things even when Shizune doesn't need to understand what's being said? Or even more strangely, when Shizune's not around at all? What an odd conflict of habit. I find it hard to focus on the book, and besides, the lunch break beckons me to leave the dullness of the classroom. I do so, heading down for the cafeteria. Misha and Shizune, having come to a conclusion of one kind or another, follow in my wake, though they're still talking in their animated fashion. Just around the corner of the hallway, something hits me in the chest with the force of a runaway freight train. Ow. Alright, now, again, this part, completely the same. Skip! Hi, Amy. Bye, Amy. Okay, so this is apparently different now. We have to run now. There's an important student council meeting regarding the festival, and we finally decided where to eat. Too bad you can't join, but this lunch meeting is only for council members. I could take you there some other time. Oh, but that'd be like a date, wouldn't it? Wah! The girls leave for downstairs. I didn't manage to get that far from the third floor hallway before all this commotion struck, literally. I should get going as well. The lunch and afternoon class pass uneventfully. Which I think means we're back into skipping. Oh, no, never mind. I read most of the book I'd started yesterday and eat some of the most inedible offerings at the cafeteria. Or mostly inedible. The class is tiresome. The teacher seems like an okay person despite the weird first impression I got. And the material is relatively interesting. However, the way he teaches is really bizarre. It's as if he expects that everyone is a natural genius. When the final bell sounds, I realize that there's still a lot of time left in the day, and I'm left wondering what to do. It's odd. At the hospital, I had 24 hours a day of free time, but here, filling the considerable shorter hours seems difficult. Everyone else leaves, and I'm left alone with the teacher. Muto's examining the assignment sheets we were working on earlier, marking them with a red ball pen. Raising his eyes from his papers briefly, he notices me and furrows his brow. What is it, Nakai? I jump at him addressing me, but I guess it's natural to spark some conversation since there's no one else around. Nothing. Thinking about what I'd do after school. The teacher slowly puts the cap on the pen he's holding and arranges his papers into a stack, clacking it against the desk twice. He seems very methodical for a brief moment. I'm reminded of Shizune, but the teacher's more unhurried and relaxed. Much more routine. You have no plans? No. I consider joining a club, but I don't know what kind of club would interest me. Go observe a meeting of someone else's club. Might pique your interest. I guess. I don't know how to continue from there. Muto looks at me in a way that makes me quickly want to take the words back to avoid a conversation. But I can't, so I have to forge ahead. I just don't know how to deal with people. I mean, the other students. I'm talking to people and everything, so it's not that I'd be isolated or anything. I just don't know what to think about the disabilities. It's like, it feels that I'm being impolite if I pay attention to them, and it's weird to ignore them. Damned if I do, damned if I don't. The teacher scratches his cheek absent-mindedly, looking very unresponsive. These things are only an issue if you make them one. You could talk normally with someone, even if they're blind or something. Try to look behind the superficial. There's not a single student here who isn't just a normal kid behind whatever they might seem at first glance. He said the same thing as Yuko. I know they're right, but it's hard. How can you not consider, for example, Shizune's deafness, when the only way to communicate with her is to talk through Misha? Or Hanako. It's not like you can ignore her face. But I'm interrupted by the door of the classroom suddenly slamming open. Teacher! Misha crashes in, hands straight in an enthusiastic greeting, her voice loud and lively enough to wake the dead from their graves. She starts towards the teacher's desk with her bouncing step, hands energetically swinging with the rhythm. Muto, visibly dismayed at the interruption by Misha in general, slumps in his chair. Mikado. Misha stops in her tracks and looks around cluelessly, as if she's sensing from his tone that something's wrong, but has no idea what. Yes? We've talked about volume control before. Yes. But she doesn't lower her voice at all, and the teacher just rubs his eyes. So, what is it? We need help. We're running out of supplies for the festival stands. This is a distress. She waves a pink slip of paper she's holding around. So, go get more supplies from the art room. What's the problem with that? Plywood. Plywood is always the problem. Last time we wanted more, there was only a little, but that time we just took it all and went with that. Now there's like none left there. So you know where there is some? I don't understand. How would I know? The president thought that a teacher would know if there's plywood. Was she wrong? Muto looks like he's in great pain, frowning with his entire essence, and Misha doesn't get it at all. Looking at the two of them communicating is terrible, like looking at a man being tortured by drilling his skull open while blasting pop music at full volume at the same time. I'm afraid I have no idea if there's any plywood in the school, let alone where it would be if there was any. Well, what should I do? Perhaps try to find Mr. Nomiya? I'm sure he would know where to find everything you need. You'd have to pry them from his cold, dead hands, but that's a different matter. I don't have time. We're so busy. She holds her head with both of her hands, looking as despairing as possible for a person like her. Even without noticing, she crumples the note she's holding against her hair. I shouldn't even be fetching these things. There's so much to do and we're falling behind the schedule. Muto looks at her gravely and then suddenly smiles. Smiling doesn't really fit his face. I think it'd be better if he didn't. I wonder if you could get some temporary help. He switches to staring at me focusedly, with a hard expression, as if trying to say, go make some friends. ... Motherfucking dot. I guess I can give you a hand. You can? Thanks, Hee-chan, you're really nice. She pauses, does a double take, and then points at me with her finger, yelping, ah! And looking very puzzled. Come to think of it, what's Hee-chan doing here? Class is over, you should be having fun. We just had a little chat. Oh no, it's not detention, is it? Are you in trouble, Hee-chan? No, I'm not. Is Hee-chan in trouble, teacher? No, he's not. Muto sighs deeply, and I feel that I have to help Misha to get her off the teacher's back. So what do you need? Here's a list. I can try to find the plywood from somewhere if there's none in the art room. She offers me the note she's holding. I take it, hesitating a little bit. I said I'd help you, but this has no implications on whether I'm joining the council or not. Aw. Still, thanks, Hee-chan. Try to be quick. We're in a stall building street now. We must hurry, hurry, hurry. And she bounces out of the classroom, leaving me and the teacher looking at each other with something that feels like a silent agreement. Well, there you have it, Nakai. You have something to do now. Please don't sound so smug. Looking at the list with a number of items ranging from paint to plywood, all written with small, neat handwriting that is undoubtedly Shizune's, I heave a great sigh. I'll be going then. Waving the long list limply at the teacher, I exit to the hallway. The classrooms closest to ours are designated belonging to classes 3-1 and 3-2 on the right side, and 3-4 on the left, each door looking exactly the same. Further down the corridor, with still identical doors, are rooms that I didn't think were used for classes. I guess the art room's not a classroom as such. Is it skip time? Yep. Hi, Rin. Yay, Rin. And now we've been waylaid by the nurse. Okay. Do not press yes. We're not going to press yes anymore. We got a little brief preview into Emmy's path, but if you want to see Emmy's stuff again, go watch it on TK's channel. He did a really good playthrough of that. Me, on the other hand, maybe. No. I mean, he gives me a nasty sort of look when I say that, trying to make me take back the word. I mean, I don't know. I'm still trying to get used to the school. I promise to try, though. You're not being very convincing there, Hizo. Tip number 1, medical professionals are not amused if you take their advice lightly. What's up with him? As if a day or two would make that much of a difference. I didn't do anything at the hospital either. Yeah, okay, sorry. He studies me for a moment and then shrugs, smiling again. Okay, that's more like it. If you go to the school track tomorrow morning, you'll meet my spy, who probably has no qualms offering consultation to you if you want to jog a bit. Consultation? See you around. He leaves with a wave of his hand and no answer at all. And I walk to Rin, who has been waiting, idly leaning against the hallway wall and staring at the pale lighting fixtures in the ceiling. Even when I approach, she doesn't move her eyes off of them. Are you getting medications for your heart thingy? Okay, I think it's skip time. Yeah, it's skip time. Doodly doodly doodly. Seems a bit stupid to me, but I can't use them for that anymore, so maybe they can get a new life this way. A bit like me. Oh, he's talking about his soccer clothes. Seems a bit stupid to me, really. But I suppose this way at least I can tell the nurse that I'm honestly doing something about my health. Not that I was ever much of a runner to begin with. Can't hurt to try, I guess. And skip time again. Hi, Amy. Choo! Frankly, I don't remember if there's any particular form for running, but I can't help but feel like I'm doing it wrong somehow. I feel awkward in comparison to Emmy, who never seems to break stride. I don't think I want to do this anymore. I'm really not feeling up to more than a couple of laps today, and slow to a walk pretty quickly. Emmy keeps on running and doesn't seem to notice that I've stopped until she passes me a second time. She quickly skids to a halt, breathing steadily, in contrast to my own somewhat gasping demeanor. Finished already? And I think it's skip time again. Yep. Apart from feeling more tired than before, I don't think I accomplished anything today. I'm so out of shape, it's embarrassing. This whole thing might have been a waste of time. I'll find some other way. Okay, yeah. I head back to the dorms to wash and change into my uniform, trying to resist the urge to take a really long hot shower. I'm tired from all the running, so I just want to unwind, but I don't want to break my slowly building routine of getting to school before the morning rush. After taking a long hot shower anyway, I dry myself off and get out of the stall to put on my clothes and skip naked Kenji. Oh god. Jesus, why? Go away. Hi, Lily. Hi, Shizune and Misha. And here comes the fast-forwarded war. Okay. Now, again, if you take the other path here, the path we've already done, you'll score points with Shizune. But the other way, I don't think you score points with anybody. Yeah. It says that if we pick Cut Me Some Slack, which is what I've always wanted to pick anyway. Hey, I'm the new guy, remember? It's not like I could have done much even if I wanted. That's right. You shouldn't expect a transfer student to jump right into it his first week. Lily taking my side feels oddly comforting, so I decide to back her up too. Yeah, you're being unreasonable with us both. Excuses, excuses. Miss Claprep, er, Claprep, Miss Class Rep has had plenty of time to deal with her report. And we repeatedly offered you a position to help with the student council work, but you refused to commit yourself to making the festival a success. Yeah, but as I said back then, I'm not sure if... I don't have time for this right now. No matter what I do, it'll mean being drawn into a confrontation with Shizune, and that's what she wants. Whatever, forget it. I turn my back at them. I get back to my seat and shut my ears from the finale of the argument between Lily and Shizune. Eventually, Lily leaves our classroom and Shizune and Misha seat themselves without even talking to me. And thank God for that. They're not going to bug us that much more anymore. I can feel Shizune's eyes burning into my back. She's probably angry with me, but I'm just as angry at her. I don't get why she had to drag me into that argument. I think it's skip time again. Or, no, never mind. Oh, that's right, this is new. Okay, let me check something real quick. Yeah, I think we'll go for a bit of length on this episode. Hanako doesn't come to morning class at all, leaving her seat looking empty and lonely in the back of the classroom. I have to tell her that Lily was looking for her if I see her later. After the events of this morning, class is pretty boring in comparison. I turn the pages of my textbook lazily. I have a bit of catching up to do, despite trying to keep up with my studies at the hospital, but I'm not feeling that enthusiastic about it. The clock at the front of the room sounds unbearably loud. The teacher hasn't said anything in over 7 minutes, instead opting to cover the board in rows and rows of equations taken directly from the book. The rhythmic clashing of chalk on blackboard seems to synchronize perfectly with the ticking of the clock. I start to copy down the equations just to pass the time, even though they're right there in the textbook. When the bell rings, I'm not in a hurry because I have nothing to do. So I stay for a while, reviewing what we covered in class today. I prefer to leave last anyway, so I don't have to deal with crowding in the hallways. I notice Shizune and Misha have also stayed behind, talking to someone from another class. Shizune's signing so fast that her hands make noises like swords cutting through the air. Whoosh. Maybe there is pent-up anger in there. Misha's trying desperately to keep up, but it's clear she can manage, or barely manage, to even understand her. I put my head down. Whatever they're discussing, it looks like serious business. Shizune signs to the point where her wrists crackle, and Misha struggles to spit it out in word form. Sometimes she trips over herself like she's dealing with tongue twisters, and then on top of that, she has to sign back anything the other girl says. Seems like a rough job. Misha looks tired, like she's about to faint. Luckily for her, their business is soon finished, and the girls sit down on their seats again. I'm so tired. She's hanging her head limply on her desk, looking exhausted. I'll use the opportunity to reconcile with Shizune a bit without getting roped into the student council thing again, though I suspect that door is now closed to me. Festival prep must be tough for you. Indeed, the people of this school seem to be taking this festival very seriously. Whenever I see people idling around before and after classes, they're always talking about their plans for it. It's kind of neat to see everyone being so enthusiastic about it. I'm probably the only one who doesn't have something to do. Shizune scoffs at me at first, as if trying to decide whether to ignore or sneer at me, but in the end she starts signing without doing either. Misha perks up, looking at her hands with slightly unfocused eyes. She signs with harsh, heavy, dramatic strokes. Misha translates her signing into speech for me. She does it so well, it's almost like Shizune's actually speaking, transmitting her thoughts directly through Misha. She must have practiced it vigorously. Well, of course, we're in the student council, you know, so we're pretty busy. It's an important duty of ours to ensure the success of the festival with all our strength. We would shame ourselves in front of the past student council generations if the festival were to fail. That's why there must be no flaws. No... I think that was encumbrances? No, nothing that might make the festival short of perfect. Shizune's passionate speech and Misha's acting are really oddly fitting of them. Oh? Hello. Hi, Hanako. I look over my shoulder and see Hanako peering timidly into the classroom, most of her body hidden behind the door. I think it might be skip time again. Or no, never mind. Hey, playing delinquent again? Hanako blushes hard at Misha's straightforward jab, even if it was only a jest. Shizune stares at her probingly, causing Hanako to look down and start backing away to the point where only her fingers can be seen wrapped nervously around the edge of the door. Maybe she's showing her dislike of Hanako by association of her dislike of Lily. It appears so, and Hanako probably knows it as well. What is it, Hanako? Has Lily been here? Sorry, haven't seen Sato. She came by in the morning, though. Hanako keeps looking uneasily at Shizune, who stares back at her with her usual studying gaze. What is she trying to do? Of course, Shizune isn't going to look away, and she's intimidating enough as it is, so I can only imagine how terrified Hanako would be. It is a little uncomfortable watching Hanako's reaction to Shizune's normal behavior. This is what happens when two people of two different extremes meet, it seems. Do you know where she is? If she has any sense in her head, she's in her classroom working on their festival project. But who knows where that woman is loitering at? Hanako nods quickly and retreats with haste. What were we talking about? Oh yeah, we are working really hard to make the festival happen. And driving other people insane along the way. Good luck with that. I stand up to leave, making my exit before either of them manages to berate me anymore for slacking off. The halls are somewhat quiet, as expected. Everyone must be in club meetings or at the festival preparations. Or both. Shizune's words about being a slacker echo in my head. I feel a bit guilty about not contributing, but I seem to lack the resolve to do something concrete about the matter. For the festival, it's too late already, unless I can help Shizune and Misha, which I naturally don't. And clubs, I don't know. Maybe I'm not a club type of person. Halfway through the way from the school building to the dorms, I spot a figure in front of the dorms. Ah, this is new. It's Rin. It looks like she's working on her mural today, too. I walk over to her, but she doesn't seem to notice me approaching. She's sitting on an upturned box, looking intently at the wall she's painting with a brush held between her toes. The mural has progressed considerably since yesterday, but it's still only half done as far as I can tell. More colors have appeared, and the twisted human-like figures have spread and increased in number. I have to say, the style is quite eye-catching and very unique. Not that I'd be knowledgeable about art by any measurable scale, but it's very nice looking nevertheless. I clear my throat to get her attention, but not startle her so that her concentration won't break. Wait. She doesn't even turn to check who it is. I'll wait. Dot, dot, motherfucking dot. Dot. 15 minutes later, I decide that her concentration is indeed unbroken, and also I've waited long enough to warrant poking her gently on the shoulder to remind her of my presence. Rin turns her head mechanically to my direction, ending up staring at my crotch. Oh, it's Hisao. She can tell. I'd feel a lot less uncomfortable if she'd look at my face. An astute observation. Hard at work, I see. The conversation starts as if I hadn't been here for a quarter of an hour already, but it's not my concern. At least it starts. Yep. We're on track here. Music is called Parody. Looking good. It does. Layers of paint hiding other layers of paint, mixing and shaping the human figures really creates an impressive look. But Rin looks miffed. You shouldn't comment on works in progress. 7 years of bad luck. Sounds terrible. I guess I'll take it back then. Still, it looks good. Wonder if I get 14 years of bad luck for thinking that. Rin turns to look back at her painting and pokes it with a big toe. Could you mix some of this color? I'm running out of it. She looks down at a half-empty bowl with the remains of the same pinkish paint in it. I didn't really intend to stay here and help her with this project, though. I guess I didn't intend to do anything much. I look at Rin. She looks emptily back at me. Just this once. Rin picks up another brush and drenches it in another tone of pale red. There are dozens of small, similar bowls all around her working area. From the looks of the scene, she could have been sitting there for hours. I wonder if she has. That would mean she's been skipping school, though, which I, of course, wouldn't put beyond someone like Rin. I pour a little bit of white and red into the bowl, trying to match the color of the one already on the wall. I can't seem to get it right. It's really inconvenient of her not to mix enough in the first place. Getting it to be exactly the same tone will be impossible, but at least I'm going to try to get as close as I can. Speaking of hard work, isn't that a huge workload for you, too? It's such a big painting and all. Oh, I'm not old and bitter enough yet to think like that. I guess you aren't. You guessed right. Legs hurt, though. They feel like slugs. Slugs made of sea slugs. Because of the position? Yeah, I like doing it in a horizontal position more, if you know what I'm talking about. But it can't be helped. Can't ask the wall to lay down. Saying that, she stretches herself a little, bending her legs and back far more than a human should flex. It's astonishing how effortlessly she manages her body around. There's a small flinch in her otherwise blank expression, and into pain, as she stretches out her calves. Ren must have stamina and dexterity far above a normal person to be able to live like she does. But she's definitely wearing out working on this. Why push yourself so much? Take a break or something at least. Continue tomorrow if it's bad. This gives her a pause. A long one, too, feeling like a mental yawn. ... I don't think so, Hisao. I'm not pushing myself. Sure looks like you are. No, it's not about pushing or pulling or any related to that kind of thing. There's this boy. A boy? Yes. Where? At the art club. Oh, and? He's blind. Oh, how can you paint if you're blind? No idea. So why is he there? That's the point. He is there. She really should speak more than one word at a time to make this feel more like a discussion and less like an interrogation. He can't really do anything that you'd call art, right? But he comes there anyway, and paints. Why? I don't know. Why? I don't know. That's why I asked. So? He doesn't paint often, but I think his paintings are very interesting. I'm sure they are. I once tried that. Painting with eyes closed. Wasn't too interesting. And cleaning up the floor took ages. Didn't try again. But he's becoming better at sculpting. I see. Maybe she was trying to make a point with this. Maybe she forgot she had one. Seems like the art club is full of interesting people. Not really. Pretty blunt statement. She totally missed the sarcasm. No? Just like I said, they're not very interesting. I usually don't have much interest in people who are not interesting. Maybe you have. Maybe. But that boy is interesting. Maybe I'm like that boy, or maybe you are. Maybe everyone is. Doing things you can't do just because you can. That's pretty deep, I think. And I tell that to her. You're a deep one. Nah, I'm a really shallow and thoughtless person. People say that to me all the time. Did you know I can only think of 4 things at the same time? No, but now I do. Right now I'm thinking of the second floor girls' toilet, ice cream flavored ice cream, the middle toe, and a haircut. I'm gonna need a haircut. She shakes her head around vigorously, letting her short and messy hair ruffle wildly around. I can see that doing it is something she likes to do, with that cute little smile. We fall silent as Rin treads around absent-mindedly, poking some brushes around. The thought about the art club sticks in my head for a while longer. I'm feeling like I'm treading on very unknown territory with art. The way these meetings with Rin go it's as though I'm starting a smoking habit or something. I should probably stop talking with her. It's not that I dislike her, despite the confusion her being herself causes, and I don't dislike art either. I've drawn for fun sometimes, I just don't have a real creative drive or any technical skill. So usually if I were to draw something, I get white paper syndrome and just freeze completely. That, or I manage to draw something disfigured and probably get frustrated at my inability to put the picture in my head down on the paper, and then call it quits without really even trying to make an effort. Yeah, sorry. Rin clearly doesn't have this problem, but she frustrates me in another way. Being with her is like looking into a mirror that doesn't reflect anything. It makes one question the sanity of the act. Rin sits down on her box, swaying from side to side, apparently comfortable with the uncomfortable silence. She's staring at me again, or maybe over my shoulder. I can't quite figure out where her eyes are focused on. I'm thinking of leaving so she can carry on working undistracted, and then I can do whatever I'm going to do alone. It's not like I have anything that must be done today. Oh, shoot. Who? Nobody. I just forgot to tell Hanako that Lily was looking for her. Do you know her from my class? Oh, her. The mystery toilet girl. That person is funny. I saw her going to the toilet 5 times during one recess 3 weeks ago. I'm sure it's a world record. It was very mysterious. That's why you call her Mystery Toilet Girl? What other reason could there possibly be? Well, if there is, it's an eternal mystery. I didn't follow her in there. ... This happens a lot around Rin, folks. Maybe it was the week before that? Could have been. ... Looking at her makes me hungry. Don't say that. At least, not around her. Rin turns to look at me blankly, as if she's not sure why I reproved her. But she doesn't acknowledge understanding any more than before, so I give up at this point. So you want to go eat dinner, then? No, not yet. Rin has turned her hungry gaze back to the wall, looking slightly more energetic, or at least slightly less lethargic than she did before. It's as if the wall was an opponent she has to vanquish, something she must overcome before she can indulge in dinner. This is the feeling I get. A weird sense of empathy overcomes me and makes me smile a little to myself. For all her oddity, Rin is pretty cool after all. I'll be going anyway. Have fun. Rin has already grasped the brush and is dipping it into fresh paint, so of course she can't hear me anymore, or doesn't answer anything even if she does. I'm feeling tired, so I set my alarm clock to wake me up as late as I can afford while still making it to the first class. The nurse's voice is almost nagging in the back of my head about morning jogs. I make a resolution to make up for it by going for a walk after school tomorrow. Emmy won't care either way, I bet. Snooze. Ah, nice to hear that little day over jingle again. I'll wake up and take a hot shower. And if I'm not mistaken, folks, yeah, we're getting pretty well into the long video recesses. So I'm gonna go ahead and call this one here. So yeah, sorry there's only like really half an update in this video, but stay tuned, folks, because next episode we're gonna be delving more into Rin's path, and you'll see what madness truly lies therein. As for me, I'm your host, NeoMegaMan, signing out. End of line.